Hello, everybody. I'm Graham Elwood. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. This article was submitted by Patreon supporter Winkle the Bernie Bro. Thank you, brother. This article was written before the FISA FO2 Act actually passed, but what it brings up, it was in The Intercept. The title of the article is NSA Surveillance Bill with Legalized Loophole That Lets FBI Spy on Americans Without a Warrant. So I talked about the 55 Democrats that let this happen. Now that it has happened, this article was written by Alex Emmons. Let me point out some of the key things that they put into this bill. Republicans put it in the bill, and the Democrats let it happen. That would allow, so this is like a foreign terrorist act thing that they're trying to, but now they're obviously going to use it here. I mean, that's for our protection, everybody. For your protection. You know, it's like some street thug coming to a local business going, hey, you got to pay me protection money to keep you safe from the hoodlums. And then the guy doesn't pay, and then they smash up the store and go, you should have paid me. So here's what just a quick background. The bill that passed reauthorized Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which serves as the basis for some of the NSA's largest surveillance programs, and keep it on the books through 2023. Who passed it? George W. Bush in 2008. The secret warrantless wiretapping was made public effectively to legalize what the administration was doing. They had already been doing it. Obama kept it going, and the law allows the intelligence community to spy on Americans' transnational communications without a warrant so long as the targets are not Americans. The documents leaked by Snowden in 2013 revealed that the NSA vacuums up a tremendous amount of wholly domestic communications through the program as well. See how they do it? So Republicans tried to ram through a different incarnation of the bill last month based on a more draconian version passed by the House Intelligence Committee. So this is all talking about them trying to push the bill. But here's what has now happened. And this was, of course, when this happened. This is when Trump said shithole. Everyone's all up in arms, shithole, I'm tired of it. Yeah, it's an awful remark, it's racist. But meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi and all of our good friends over the Democratic Party were colluding with the Republicans to let the NSA spy on all of us. Hi, NSA. Hi, will you be a Patreon supporter, NSA? Here's what happens. The new version of the bill is designed to get buy-in of the Republicans on the Judiciary Committee. It includes compromise language taken from a separate bill passed out that committee in November, which included some modest limitations on existing authorities, including the reform to backdoor searches. The bill takes aim at one of the key problems with the original law, that Section 702 does not limit how data can be used by federal law enforcement. That has given rise to backdoor search loophole, in which the NSA shares certain kinds of information with the FBI, which the FBI then uses to search for Americans' communications without a warrant. Keeping us safe, guys. Keeping us safe. Privacy advocates have called backdoor searches unconstitutional and urged Congress to close the loophole by requiring the FBI to get a court order to query Americans' communications. The current bill takes a crack at doing so, requiring the FBI to get a warrant before searching the data in relation to an open criminal investigation. But the bill carves out one exception. The FBI doesn't have to apply for a warrant when the national security is involved, or when it determines that there's a threat to life or serious bodily harm, and the bill would continue to allow the FBI to sift through the data even when those searches don't involve a specific criminal investigation, which the FBI already does so often they have compared it to searching Google. It's all for your safety, guys. FBI doesn't have to apply for a warrant. They can search through any of your data. They can get access to anything that you're doing. How did bin Laden stay hidden for so long? He used zero electronics. None. This is what Daniel Schuman said at the Organization for Demand Progress. The Intelligence Committee's bill disregards the Constitution and common sense by granting the government the authority to search Americans' communications without first obtaining a warrant, Schuman told The Intercept. Not only does this turn the purpose of that foreign surveillance law on its head, transforming it into a domestic surveillance tool, but it places activists, minorities, and everyone else at the mercy of President Trump and Attorney General Sessions, who have made clear their disregard for legal constraints and democratic norms. So when I listen to neoliberals say, how can you stop relitigating the 2016 election? We got our all hands on deck. No, 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 no. The goddamn DNC let this lunatic Trump and this idiot Sessions now are in charge of this. How did this happen? How did this happen? So the mainstream media didn't want to go over the DNC lawsuit. They didn't want to go over the Clinton WikiLeaks emails. They didn't want to cover any of that stuff. They didn't want to blow the lid on any of that. The superdelegates, none of that stuff. And now they're like, oh, we're trimming back the superdelegates. Oh, okay. It's like an alcoholic saying, I'm only going to drink at night and on the weekends. And just really good booze, not the bad stuff. I wait till after 5. And, you know what I mean? I won't drink during work. Oh, you actually need to stop drinking entirely and get into rehab and go to AA. Whoa, you progressives. So the Democrats have allowed this to happen. But the reason the Democrats have allowed this to happen is because they're like the Republicans. There's one party, you guys. It's the corporate deep state party, right? There's a floor for the military. It's a giant office building, and there's a whole bunch of floors that are for military, a whole bunch of floors that are for oil, a whole bunch of floors that are for, telecom and big pharma. And then there's a little wing over here, the Republican wing, and they're pro-life and pro-guns. And there's a little Democratic wing, and they're pro-choice and pro-gay rights. And that's it. And everything else is the same. Because a bunch of Democrats and a bunch of Republicans just voted to let this happen. They just let this happen. But it's for your safety, guys. So this is what happens, guys, when we don't have a real democracy. This is what the American empire looks like. And they just do all this flim-flammy kangaroo court nonsense. It's all just fucking theatrics. This is just this bill passing and CNN weighing in. It's theatrics. And even the corporate media says this bill actually is good for us. We need this. They'll sprinkle in some op-ed pieces. Well, I don't know. Let's ask this question. They'll do the same bullshit they do like with climate change. They'll have Bill Nye Science Guy on saying climate change is real. It's happening. It's dangerous. We need to do something about it. Well, let's listen to the other side of it, because all that does is just put a shred of doubt in there. So if the mainstream media was actually doing its job saying this is horrible, this goes against the Constitution, then they go, well, let's bring someone in here. Well, it's safe, and they'll have some example of what the NSA prevented this terrorist act. You mean all the terrorism that happens because we drone strike the shit out of the Middle East and create more terrorists? Is that the terrorism you're talking about? So, it's ridiculous. But I thank you, Winkle the Bernie Bro, and all you Patreon supporters for submitting articles like this that keep me informed as well. And you guys can support, if you go to the patreon.com/Graham Elwood, the link is below. You can support this show. It's a great way to do it. There's also, if some of you are like, I don't want to support, I don't want the NSA to know. So you can, there's a P.O. box. Some of you have sent money orders or just cash or whatever. I don't know who you are or where it's from. And if you want to do it that way, that's cool. But you're supporting the show. You're supporting independent media, because CNN won't do this. This is how Elizabeth Voss at Disobedient Media said this. Just support all your independent media people financially so we can do this. And I thank all of you. And we're going to make Gotham great again.